Ladies and gentlemen, please get excited for the brand new series starting on this channel this Sunday. Here's a quick sneak peek. It's a strong hot dog. Ugh, God! Come on, guys. Like, what the hell? That's me being allergic to the bullshit. That's all you get. But what is going on, my peeps? Welcome back to the Buzzfeed tests. I could not help myself but to run yet another poll over on my Twitter, which kind of get more votes every week. It's a good thing. I think we surpassed 700 or so this week. But shockingly, you guys voted for the lasagna chips and dip, which does look amazing, but I did not think it was gonna win. You can follow my Twitter right here if you want to look out for the next votes. I have a feeling the next one will probably be on Instagram though, so look out for that. Shoutouts to everyone who voted for this, everyone who suggested it in the comments, and Tasty for being pretty dang creative with this recipe. So let's get right into it. So guys, today we're going to start out by making just the lasagna chips, which is half of this recipe. And for that I grabbed some lasagna noodles and dried basil, dried oregano and garlic powder, olive oil, salt and pepper, paprika, some mozzarella cheese, grated Parmesan cheese, garlic, and a little bit of water. I'm sure that most of you can guess that the first thing you're going to need to do is boil off your noodles. I'm only using half a pound, about half of the box, because I'm assuming I don't need that many chips. So I let them cook for about 8 minutes in my salted water, strained them out, and once they cooled down a little bit, I began to cut them into triangles. No one like Tasty, who was getting 6 triangles out of each one of their pasta sheets. I measured mine out so I would get 8, just cutting it in half and quarters, and then cutting each one of those quarters in half as triangles. Back to elementary school shapes we go. And once those were all cut up, I tossed them to the side for a second while I first grabbed some water and some olive oil. Shoutouts to my mom for cracking my nice glass little bowls that these would have fit perfectly in. Today we're being ratchet and using plastic cups. And in my second cup, I threw in some salt and dried oregano, dried basil and paprika, then just some garlic powder, and mixed everything in. If you want to see the exact measurements, just jump over to Tasty's video, linked in the description. So now we can lay out all of our little triangles on a cookie sheet and oil every single one on every side. I was trying not to go too heavy on the oil here because I thought they might have a hard time crisping up in the oven, so I didn't. After that, I just sprinkled one side with the dried spice mix, which I'm guessing is gonna be pretty dang potent, but we shall see. So I threw that pan to the side and got ready to make the dip. You're gonna wanna grab some olive oil and ground beef, ground sausage meat, and some spinach leaves, a few washed pieces of celery and shredded Parmesan cheese, a yellow onion and some ricotta cheese, some salt and pepper and a stick of butter, a can of tomato paste, some carrots, a little bit of red wine, and some garlic and basil. Don't ask me how I just fit all of that into the camera frame. So let's just get some of the prep chopping out of the way first. I cut my onion in half and gave it a fine dice without slicing my finger open. I also shredded up some of these baby carrots, which I can't wait to see all of you roasting me for trying to shred baby carrots. Listen, it works, it comes out the same. You only need a quarter cup, so leave me alone. You're also gonna need a quarter cup of diced celery. I only ended up using 2 of the stalks and cut them as small as I could. And lastly, you're just gonna grab 2 cloves of garlic and give those a nice fine mince as well. So let's get cooking all of this. In my saute pan, I first threw down some olive oil and about a tablespoon of butter. Let those melt down and come together. And then pretty much threw in everything you just watched me prepare. I dare one of you to go back through my videos and see how many onions and garlic cloves I've minced in my life, because I feel like that's all I do. But I gave my pan about 10 minutes to cook down over medium heat. I got a nice brown on some of the vegetables, so at that point I threw in a half pound of ground beef and the same amount of the sausage. Obviously I had to weigh these out on my scale, and wrapped up the rest and tossed it in the fridge. Also, don't forget that 3rd cup of tomato paste, because it's probably gonna be pretty important in this. And after I let that cook down for a couple minutes, you want to add in your very last ingredient for this, a quarter cup of red wine. Fun fact, I hate wine. I feel like It's just disgusting. I'd rather drink dumpster juice than that nasty, fermented, day-old grape. Ugh. I'm angering a lot of people in this episode, I feel, but moving right along. I let the mix simmer for 30 minutes with the lid on it. Afterwards, it was looking beautiful, so let's move on to the ricotta mix. A cup of the cheese, a half cup of spinach, some fresh basil and Parmesan cheese, and then just some salt and pepper, and give that a nice, thorough mix. I get such satisfaction when something I make is easy and looks identical to Tasty's video. It's rare, but it feels great. Now in an oven-safe pan, you want to layer your first layer of the chopped meat mix. Throw all of your ricotta cheese mix in between that and smooth it out. Top it with the rest of your sausage and ground beef mix, and then just a half cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. And I was very surprised to see that both this and the chips are gonna cook in the same temperature oven for the same amount of time. That's just 12 minutes in a 400-degree oven, and they both came out looking fantastic. Anything with this much melted cheese on top just makes my mouth water like crazy, so let's give this a try. Now, as you can see, I have made a nice little smaller platter, so I don't have to bring the whole cookie sheet down here. Right off the bat, the chips smell very odd. It's very reminiscent of like that weird pain-free wax when you first melt it, and it has that weird fumes. Not that I would never ever know. Let's just move along here. And a nice portion of dip, which smells amazing. Oh man, this dip is next level. Holy crap. That ricotta cheese mix warmed up and mixed in with the sausage and ground beef mix. Wow, I did not think that was gonna be that good. To be perfectly honest with you, I'd be very happy to just eat big spoonfuls of this. The chips aren't my favorite. They're a little on the chewy side, which I kind of figured would happen with dried out pasta noodles. That dip alone would get like 100 out of 10, but the whole thing combined, 9.8 out of 10. A little bit chewy. Hello everyone, it's future editing David. As you can see, I forgot to film an outro somehow. I've done 100 and something episodes of this. Apparently I'm new here. I hope you guys enjoyed it though. If you did, leave me a like, suggest what you want me to see next. And have an awesome weekend. I will see you on Sunday for the brand new series.